Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ed Fiels here along with the Fruits of the Land, Rogan Smith.
What do you say?
Fruits of the land.
Fruits of the land.
Yes, pineapple of Eleuthera. And
Fruits of the land.
yeah. And
Thank you.
it's all very calm and gentle and mellow.
I do feel good today.
Yeah, I was telling Candelaria.
Pull your thing down, Candy.
You
That-
both look so nice.
Thank you.
I feel underdressed.
No, it's
Well,
only because
of
I just
course,
come
you
from
can always
partying.
leave and hurry back.
No thanks.
I was saying to Candy how I don't know why. I'm sure it's happened in previous years, but for some reason it seems as if things that I needed to bring closure to, like I will end the year without outstanding matters.
That's always a good feeling.
Matters. So,
And you cleared up everything?
That's what it feels like. I mean, certainly if there's things that I haven't cleared, that's not a huge deal. But for the last several years, there's been a lot of things
That
going
carried
on
over,
that just
right?
carried over, and they just, I don't know, just this. I mean, there's still work to do, but it just seems as if, I just feel
You're in a space
in a
that
space,
is
good space.
good space.
And what I've decided to do for my own, this is my resolution, is essentially I know because I've already I'm not taking on any new items. So whatever is
What is new items?
For the 18th?
well, like projects and
Projects.
I mean I can't work, I can't stop that if something comes, but no causes.
No.
I finished with the causes. It's time for this will be the only platform for causes. The
Your
young
show.
ones them.
Let them take it over.
Yeah, let them wake because they tired of waking. Okay, you know what I mean? Let the young ones them. Because you just get to a point, and it's you do your part, and and you can say, okay, I did my
You
part.
get to the point where you feel like it's a losing battle, or you're just tired.
You're tired. I mean, and also too, and one of the things, I'll tell you something. I'm trying to phrase this correctly. Sometimes, and you see it in a whole range of things, people who stay with something for too long actually get in the way. Because there's a small space for projects, right? So let's just say, let's pick one. Let's say garbage collection or whatever. Well, there's a lot of people. What I found over the years, I've seen this where there's a lot of people interested in it, and so you go to a meeting, and the meeting becomes counterproductive because everyone has their ideas, and they kind of. It becomes territorial, so it's kind of, I think, wise for some people to step back and say, you know what, that's a good idea. Why don't you run with that? You run with that.
Yeah.
Let me, if I can help by saying something on the radio or something like that, fantastic. But because otherwise it's, the bottom adage is too many
Hands in the pot.
hands in the pot.
Yeah.
Too many cooks spoil the
Too many
what?
cooks spoil the pot. Or
Spoil the
Right.
broth or whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
So and there's a lot of people who are committed to things, but sometimes it gets overcrowded. So sometimes maybe it's best for the more senior to pull away, and if there's advice needed, because I'm senior now,
Oh yeah, very senior.
and you're jealous about it. That's the thing.
Me?
Yeah, you're jealous.
If the law
You wish you could
tarry,
be
as
senior.
they say, I will be senior.
You wish you could
one
be
day.
senior, by.
I will.
So
that's
I can
so
be hitting that
silly.
line.
The line?
I can walk in the
Yeah,
bank,
the
and I'm in line
citizens'
by
line.
myself.
How much is that? I mean, how old you have to be? 60?
65, eh?
60 or 65?
And I think a lot of people are
60?
lying on that line.
60, probably. 60.
I see some people who are 40-ish.
No.
They just look good, Ed.
No, they don't look
If
good.
there
I
are
know
no
that.
seniors on the line, then they go and they go up.
I don't
Yeah,
trust the
sometimes,
set.
yeah, they
The
assist.
set I talking about?
Most people don't want to even be regarded as like a senior citizen
Hey,
until they get
let
in
me
that
tell you.
until they get in that bank and they see that long line. All of a sudden, they raise their I'm
Like,
senior,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
senior. I can't be on this
Look
long
at my
line.
license.
Everybody
Speaking
wants to
of
be on
which,
that line.
you talk about causes and also I've managed to stay alive because I've been in threatening situations, right? The other day I was at the bridge toll.
No, I did not know you've been in threatening situations.
Yeah, I place myself in these situations, right? I was at the bridge, coming off the bridge. I'd gone through the toll booth. I was in the lane to turn left,
Yes.
okay, through the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like second in line. Two cars come in back of us, come around and go left through the light, through the red light.
Mm-hmm.
So, the light then turned green almost instantly. So I then followed them. And I followed the guy right to where he parked. He was an employee. And he pulls in to a handicap spot. So I
That's
then,
like, oh my God.
so I then block him. And I just sat in my car. And I said, isn't it wild? And he was like, he says, well, I said, isn't it wild?
You do this passive aggressive thing.
So he says, what do you mean? I said, isn't it wild how we're here at the same exact time? And you then had to like come around me, but we're here the same exact time? In other words, why did you? I don't know if he got it. And
No,
I said,
I'm
by
sure
the
he
way,
didn't.
I said, by the way, because I won't say where he worked. I didn't know we allowed disabled people to work in that area for, safety reasons.
And well, it must be a lifeguard or something. So
No, I didn't say.
I know you won't say what it is.
Okay, but I mean, it's,
what do you say?
Yeah, I got you.
Did he move it?
Yeah, he moved.
Okay. I'm a lot more direct. I'd say, can you please remove your vehicle?
No, I want him to reflect.
They ain't no time to reflect.
No, so
they
you
ain't
saw-
reflecting.
You see?
No.
They
So I don't know.
reflecting.
Or I
Reflecting
pulled
on
people
nothing,
over
buddy.
for littering.
Reflecting.
I
Yeah.
pulled them over.
For littering?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially like in the streets.
I like the ones that like the brothers. I used to be a district constable. Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
I think you were aware of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was a
You have
I was a DC. I had a card and everything, right?
Mhm,
So
you told me.
I used to pull up on people and say,
pulling up on
"Excuse me,
Playing this program.
did you? I think you
Or your
just threw,
badge, buddy.
I think you just threw
Your tunic
something out of
number.
your car."
Mm-hmm.
You
and the
think or
guys-
you know?
I know.
No,
I'm
you
just
saw it.
yeah. So the
That's what I
guy,
would've
so the
done
guy
then.
would say, "Yeah," and what? And so
What you could do?
blanking.
What? Yeah.
What? And so what? Well, I'm a police officer. Woman, anytime you don't try to take in the car,
You could be fined,
he immediately put it on the woman.
You lie.
Yeah. That's what they
He said, what? He didn't. He cussed at you
after
and then he
cussing
catches
me,
you out.
and I
Yeah.
said, "Oh well, anyway, I thought I'd do it the nice way, but I'm telling you, as a police officer, woman, what I tell you about trying things on the car?" All of a sudden, it reverted to her, the woman.
It just
Throw her under the bus.
We're going all over the place here, by the way. We were talking about marital rape the other day, right? This is all
On
over.
Monday.
This is all over the place day.
Mm-hmm.
again.
The minister of social services. Let me say this. I'm going to be very fair. I think that a lot of these young I call them junior politicians, don't know when not to say anything. Okay?
There's no filter.
Well, the reporters stick a mic in their face. They're coming out of cabinet or whatever, and they're like, I'm on TV. I got to say something. No, I have no, I've not much to comment on it now. Something. It's a private matter. Oh,
Well, her and her leader had poor answers in my estimation.
well, I didn't see the.
Her leader, our prime minister, said he doesn't have a view on it. That is the weakest, most asinine thing I've ever heard. Okay?
You got to have a view.
You have to have a view. Let's be real. If I said to him as a reporter, Mr. Prime Minister, what's your viewpoint on a 54-year-old man raping his 6-year-old daughter? And you say to me, well, I don't have a viewpoint on that. I don't have an opinion on that. I'm left to deduce that maybe you're okay with that.
Right.
And so why is it any
the thing
different when a husband is accused of raping his wife? You don't have a viewpoint on that?
No, I'll tell you what exactly
Unacceptable.
happened. So I won't do the analogy simply because I know that they would immediately
Well, I expect
speak
the
on the other
same
one.
response
when it
comes to marital rape.
That's the thing. I would expect that, or you say I'd refrain from comment. The point is, I know why they're doing it.
Don't tell me
It's
you don't get
political.
no opinion on it.
They're doing it because it's political. Okay. Now I see where Mario Moxie has come out and said that there's no justification.
Yes.
For a marital rape.
Yes.
For forcing a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but
And
I don't know why that is such a hard thing to say. I mean, even if you
Ask
get
the Prime Minister why that's not a hard thing to
because
say.
even if people disagree with you, that's one of those things where it's not you can't lose by saying you disagree with it. It's not
Let me say this. Even in the case of the Prime Minister, I thought we were going to have a leader who was bold enough to speak his truth. I've been here before with the Prime Minister, I remember for the gender equality referendum, he would not say how he voted. He wouldn't say what he was going to do. It was always vote your conscience. And to me, that back then was unacceptable. That was something that really irked me. And now here it is again. He's elected prime minister now, somebody who I thought would step forward and be outspoken and speak out against this type of thing. And he's talking about he doesn't have an opinion on the matter.
Marital rape is not it's just not see, I know.
This is a black or white issue.
Yeah,
Either
it's
with
black.
it or you're
Well,
against
no,
it.
it's not. It's not black or white.
It is a black or white issue.
It's not black or white in one regard, but it is wrong. That's the point. If there's gray, fine, you deal with the gray. But the issue, the basic tenet of raping, just rape.
Yeah, I don't care if it's your wife or a stranger.
I saw an article. I saw something in a thing. So don't we have rape laws? That's what the person asked. Don't we have rape laws? So why does it matter if you're married?
Right.
If it's rape, it's rape.
Yeah.
Why is there even a category of marital rape?
And it doesn't make
what I mean?
sense to me listening to, these different conversations and people talking about, well, what if this happens? And then what if this, she's doing this or he does this? But no, what happens if she just says no?
She just says no. She's tired.
What
She's
if she
sick.
just simply says no? There's nothing behind it. There is no,
She has that right.
story behind it. There is just, I don't
and this is
want
where,
you
and by the
to
way,
do this
and so
to
I'm
me.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here now for a second, and this is where the problem lies, because there are probably good people. I'm just putting that in quotation marks, who get that, but say, in their view, there is no right for her to say no.
Right.
That's where the problem lies.
That's where the entitlement lies.
You
and
see,
the
that's where this
expectation.
with your boy Paul's the contract. That's their argument. It's
Right.
It's almost
Maybe
as
that's
bad
the
as
contract they signed.
it's almost,
That ain't the
no way that
contract
she could
Rogan
just say
signed.
no. There's no way.
well, no, it's the
Because her body
contract.
is-
Yeah,
That's what he's
that's
saying.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I don't
There's
agree
no,
with
you
him.
can't say
It's
no.
an
And I know God did
it's
not
an
agree with that.
entitlement of you cannot. And by the way, they'll find some vice.
They
some
can find,
scripture.
they can always find
Always.
words to contradict.
We were
Always.
winding up,
And
and then we're
Oh
breaking.
yeah, you didn't bring your thing.
No, okay.
We gotta take a break.
All
We'll
right.
be back.
boom, boom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, we're going to have a very special guest here this afternoon. By the way, are we going to exchange gifts on air?
We can.
Oh, really?
Are we going to open gifts on air?
Not
We can.
nice. No.
I think so. I don't believe in this opening
no.
treat. Yes, we are.
Well,
Otherwise, go home.
No, Urka, come
yeah, we
knock
can
us
do
up.
it.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, got nothing to do with gifts.
We're not exchanging gifts.
Come
No,
on,
you're
let's do
joking.
it.
No,
What
why?
you read here?
Did you can't
You
see
put the
it?
flat comb on that.
Huh? Yeah, the flat
The
iron.
flat comb. That's a hybrid of a hot comb and a flat iron.
But there is a hot comb.
There's a hot comb.
It said flat comb.
Oh, you
You
said
got the
flat
flat comb?
comb. I said it's a hybrid.
That's
the
because
flat
y'all.
comb.
Oh, you haven't seen the flat comb yet. Oh, you don't stay up late and watch infomercials.
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was the only person who
It wouldn't apply to you, pineapple girl.
Yeah, that's all right. I got over the flat comb. As you put it on
So
my
would
head.
you refer to that as the upside down cake?
This ain't a pineapple. Well, I guess it is a little bit.
It has to be a
Pineapple
pineapple.
on your $1.50 all the time.
I met that
Turn
chap.
around and let me see.
He's
it.
now. I was trying to get him on the show. His name is Rochi.
Rochi.
And I met him when that song aired. I don't know, 15 years ago. That's been around for a while.
That's how long I've been around?
Yeah. He
That feels just as
debuted that
fresh
song.
today as
2018.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Think
debuted
about
that song
that.
on 100 Jams. He came here.
Rochi.
And that sound has become ubiquitous now. You hear it in movies and all kinds of things, right?
You do?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You
In
see-
movies?
Yeah. In fact, that was in a movie,
Yeah, man.
the
I've
James
heard it.
Bond movie,
Yeah.
or one of these movies they made on Paradise Island.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah.
the bottom line is, he came, he did that, and when we were doing the Marina Village, he was there. He came and he said, man, boy, I see you since that time. Anyway, he sent me a bunch of his songs. He's getting ready to release an album. And the album is C&W. Country Western.
Yeah, you said this on the show.
I didn't let you hear it?
No, but you mentioned
I
it
hope I didn't
on
erase it.
a few shows ago.
Oh, wow.
I hope I
Yeah.
didn't
Country
erase it.
Western.
Country Western. I can tell him
We had a
send
whole
it to me again.
conversation about country and
But he's
Western.
gonna come on the show. Him and the Campbell young lady. But I
Chloe,
forget her
eh?
first name. Chloe Campbell.
Yeah.
They're gonna come
so
on the
sick, you know
air,
that song, Candy?
and we're gonna.
So sick of
Because
you.
I think she's
Yeah.
getting.
Oh, yes. I
She's
love
getting.
that.
I think she's getting ready to release something as well.
I love that.
So we're gonna
She's
do a
really
little
good.
thing. We're gonna do a little
Yeah.
thing because that's how we roll. We're Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. So,
Nothing but sweat.
I just got an email. Okay. I just got an email from brother Rummy. So that's cool. We'll
It's
talk
all
about
about
that.
You mean Romy?
Rummy. But
Romy.
no, that's your name. to
No,
him.
that's how it's pronounced.
No, no.
not
No, no.
Romy.
It's
That's
all about
how I say it.
Romy and his
Oh my gosh.
So, anyway, so-
Remember that song? Romy. Who sing that song?
Romy.
It's all about Romy and then big fat sister
No, I don't.
Naomi. Who sing that part? Who sing that? That's Beanie Man?
All about Romy. Yeah, that's Beanie Man.
All right.
Okay.
So our guest this afternoon is going to be, hopefully she'll be here by 6 o'clock. So we're going to start this thing. No, we do. We're going to start this thing, and we're going to hopefully carry it on into the new year. Not hopefully, but we'll see how it goes. And it's just, I don't even know what to call it because I don't want to diminish people by having these titles.
Yeah, don't say.
But the thing is, basically, you know,
an everyday perspective.
Yeah. So we run into people all the time who talk about the show, and I will readily admit that, you know, it is very easy to go highbrow and think that, you know, only a certain, you know, echelon is listening to the show, whatever the deal is. It's my problem, not theirs. Yeah. And so people from all walks of life will approach me about the show, right? And I thought, you know what you don't hear on radio shows? You always hear someone who's quote unquote an expert in something. Or someone maybe who even has a gripe about something, like, you know, something happened. But you don't hear just like the everyday opinion. Mm-hmm. You know, so. Well,
you hear it through the talk, you know, like the chronic callers and that.
Yeah,
sort of,
and you know how they are to me. You know how I feel about them. But I ran into Charvette. Her name is Charvette Miller. She works over at Atlantis, and she was saying to me, I think she said something to me when I was leaving the opening of the Cove. Yeah, man, Ed. Good show, man. I miss a one or something like that.
What?
And I said, oh, yeah, you listen? She goes, oh, yeah. What I want to know now is when I can be on. So I said, okay, well, I'll get back to you. And I forgot her name and I forgot everything. And I said to you, you know what I can run into her again.
Yeah, you did.
And sure enough, within about a week.
Of course you did.
Of course, it's, you know, a small place.
That's just your thing.
No, she ran, I mean, it's a work.
She works there, yeah.
So I said, now, here's the deal. I took her name and we got a thing. And she's coming on today, and we'll talk about some stuff. Good. But what I'm going to do is, as I run into people like that, that's what we'll do. We'll,
just
get the name and all that, and they'll come in and we'll do a half hour or so with them.
Know who I enjoyed who was on the show? What was it? Konkala?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's another Latino
with the garbage.
Well, he's the one
that one. He was fantastic.
He's obsessed worse than me about garbage.
He hates garbage.
He's worse than me. He's videoing. It's every day.
I know. I've seen the name.
Konkalar.
He's on Facebook, and he posts them there.
All the videos, yeah. He's a champion.
I saw somebody the other day hopping out their car taking a photo of some garbage. I said, I wonder if that's him, because I couldn't see too well. I was like, I wonder if that's him.
And see, a guy like that. Let me tell you, when I talk about stepping away, a guy like that, he is like 80 more times me.
Oh,
in other words, he's not only talking about all that, he's in the doing, man. And so, oh, by the way, I should have told you all this, but I think I'm going to have to get it from down the road, because when you all asked me what I would like for my Christmas, and I forgot to mention, I want a dashboard cam.
Too late.
Oh, okay.
Because I can buy one for myself, because I'm going to be taking some video.
Why don't you just become a police officer? Are you too old now?
And some video of people, and then just, one thing about the video.
What you going to do about it?
Upload
it?
It's going to be not pointing at you, pointing at the road.
At the road.
Oh.
And one thing about the video, right, is that it's all evidence. It's not like I saw someone.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Okay? See, this the video. This the plate.
Mm-hmm.
This the car.
You're a police officer.
And then make embarrass them.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. That starts a whole
a
whole set of stuff.
About litter? I'm not interested.
Just not about litter. But then, I'm just saying it could take that to a whole different. People will take that to a whole different.
Well, most people have. Most police cars have.
Yeah, police cars.
But I'm going to be dash cams here.
No,
actually, they do. They have body cams now.
Body cams.
I know they were set to introduce, or they were thinking about they already wearing them.
I haven't seen
nobody.
Yes.
No, sir.
I think in the ones in the police cars. In the cars.
And I don't know them to ever had any dash cam on their thing. I wish they did. I think they should.
Well, I already think
personal
citizens are reckless with their phones and cameras, and you want to put dash cams in their own cars. And
I mean, there's only so much you can do with a dash cam. It ain't like you're following people into the bathroom with the dash cam. I'm driving into the bathroom, and here they are.
I don't know.
They're copulating.
We Bahamians, we find a way to do.
Take it. Don't call my name nobody.
Don't. One thing with my people, we are a colorful people. We will find some stuff.
Prying it off the dashboard.
What? Did y'all hear about Rogan and the Dalai Lama?
Yeah.
See the video?
Yeah.
I drove my car in
We
there.
would see the license plate now.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Mm-hmm.
you could see her head in the front seat. You see.
So having said all that,
Candy's birthday is tomorrow, by the way,
okay,
for
happy
those of you
birthday
out
to
there.
you. I think I knew that, but I didn't remember.
December, her and Kendrick are December babies.
It's the worst day in the world, man.
No, it's not.
And you know who it's the worst day for?
Paul and
People
Kendrick,
who know
when was
you.
your birthday?
December 5th.
The 5th. That's right.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
that the pass? Hey,
So they gotta- so you get one gift.
I never used to get one when I was growing up.
Yeah,
so why should I start?
Because you know why? Because you've already grown.
No.
Yeah. Anyway,
You get one for your birthday and then one for Christmas.
how old are we
Why
now?
not? I'm 36.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
As of tomorrow.
As of tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You were thinking first about saying, well, why would I say my age?
No, I don't care about my age.
And Candy looks so young, eh?
If you think I'm young, old,
I mean, that is
whatever
young.
it is.
That
I
is
mean,
young, but you know what I mean? You look younger.
What is youth?
She looks like a
Now-
19, 20
How
year
old I
old.
am.
So and Kendrick has to be brought into this as well. I will ask each of you, and we'll do some more of this, but we'll do some more after we talk to Charbet. So the year, we're going to continue on with this, but the year. So 2018, I don't remember a lot in 2018.
It's crazy, right?
What do you mean you don't
I mean, a lot.
I remember the
2017.
election. We had a whole
I mean,
election.
a lot of stuff went on, right?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
When did Trump get voted?
January.
No,
Oh, last
2016.
year.
November
Yeah.
last year.
Well, the
and then
one
we got
thing, if you want to start with him,
the
inauguration.
was January.
okay, so we could talk about the inauguration. He had the biggest crowd ever.
Ever.
And
Bigger than Obama.
Huge.
It's sad,
And the
right?
media
That
didn't
where we've
depict
come
that.
to. No, they talked about it. But
No,
it's sad how
according
we've
to
come
him.
to the place where there's a picture of the small crowd, and he would dare to say that.
No,
And he sent his man out to say it.
Right, he said that they posted the wrong picture.
No, but
That's not
Spicer
what the
came
crowd
out,
looked
biggest
like.
crowd ever. Biggest crowd.
That time it was so scanty. Looked like 10 o'clock on Bay Street after Jokadu. Why do you think
Everybody going.
Everybody going in the sun.
So
Everybody on the road.
that started off the year with like a lie.
Yeah,
Just like,
that was his.
that's his thing, So
Yeah.
the Trumpster, the whole year basically we had to get used to the Trumpster.
I'm so
Now we're
sick of
kind of
him.
like, I'll be honest with you, he had this tax thing yesterday, right? I can't watch it. It's
you
a
saw
victory.
people lavishing him with praise. Oh, you're the greatest
Like who?
leader. I don't know
Like
their
other
names.
senators and stuff?
Yeah, people in Congress and different stuff.
You know what?
I don't know them.
I hate to say this because I think it's going to be terrible, but just because I don't want to see him win anything, and this is bad. This is bad. I can't watch it because he's sickening. He's a sickening human being, in every aspect of being. And anyway, that's my problem, not his. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know. Don't want to. Hey, I love the guy. Love Mavisa. Because I believe he's one of these people.
Yes.
If it get back to him.
Well, you see what he tell the people with the UN vote. When they had that today, he's his ambassador to the UN, the U.S. ambassador. I forget her name, Lord, the lady's name. Said they're going to be taking a note of how the other nations vote, and she'll be reporting that to
She'll report it.
to the president, and he's taking a keen interest in how everybody's going to be voting.
She's going to report him.
Oh yes. What her name is, man?
Daly or Kaylee or something.
Haley or something like that.
Haley Curry. So
Curry.
Sorry. So the thing is, okay.
Her name is.
Yeah, the fact that she would say, "I'm going to report you," it's like, are we in grade 3?
Yes, I'm going to tell my mom.
Even grade 2 people are doing it. You have to get to grade 3, and then you go, "Well, I'm going to report you. I'm going to
That's
report
what I'm
you."
saying.
I'm going to tell my
read
mom
exactly
on
what
you.
she
I'm going to tell my president on you.
Oh my.
And see what he's going to do. You're not going to get any weapons.
They're going to withhold aid and all that stuff. I'm trying to see the direct quote, man. And these people so childish dread.
So what else did we have? We had the whole thing. What else did we have going on?
This is a good question. I should have made a list.
Yeah, well, we don't do that.
No, that's not good.
Make
In
people,
2018, let's prepare.
No.
Yes.
I've not been prepared for 20-something years, and I start now.
No.
Okay?
There has to be
all
some
those other
balance.
people are prepared.
I really cannot remember what all went on this year.
We had
I mean, besides
Irma
election.
and Harvey.
Yeah.
Do you remember Harvey?
We had
we're so numb to things now.
Yeah.
It's like a disaster because you had the Las Vegas killing,
Yeah.
right? You had some other killings, but it's so bad. Things are so bad now, right? That when something bad happens, you forget it when the next bad thing happens.
Right, and then you move on.
When was the Orlando massacre?
That was a couple of years ago.
No, sir.
No,
it was not this year. It was not this year.
That was earlier this year.
That was this year,
how much you want to
darling.
bet?
I'll bet you
No, it was
$100.
a couple of years-
$1,000.
It was a couple of years ago.
1,000.
No,
$1,000.
$100.
It wasn't
because
a
you know
couple
why I
of
know?
years ago.
They had the anniversary this year. That's why I know.
But not maybe a year.
Okay,
the first year.
But it's not this year.
Not a couple though.
1,000.
No.
Okay.
Look it up, Rogie.
You're a scary cat. But the bottom line is, it was at Pulse.
It was
and
2016.
Yeah, of course it was.
You said
you said
several
a couple
years.
of years.
No, and you said this
several
year.
years ago.
Yeah, we're both wrong. Which
month in
I
2016?
It was
adjusted.
June 2016.
Okay.
I adjusted, and I said it was last year.
No,
now, yes, I did. Axe Ken. Go again.
No, you said a couple years ago.
Rewind the tape.
You said a couple of
You
years
ain't got
ago.
no tape. That's another thing. You don't have no tape. So okay. So you have these killings, like the Las Vegas killing. You have like the major fire. Who thinks about Napa now? The only people who think about that is people in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's some serious
You got
stuff.
the fire
But all
burning
these
down in
happened later
California.
in the year. What happened early in the year?
Over
Well,
here?
we had an election.
Well, yeah.
We had the dethroning of the leader of the opposition
Right.
from Miss Loretta Butler Turner.
Oh.
We had all
happened.
that
That was this
shenanigans.
year?
Yes, that was this year.
See, I
was
totally
all
forgot.
that shenanigans, yeah.
A lot of action-packed
Hey,
stuff.
after the election, my memory got wiped.
You had. Was it this year that we had? They didn't have the leadership election this year. That was last year.
No.
Remember the convention?
Oh, with the FNM?
Yeah, where
No,
where
that was
she.
this year.
No,
This year?
no, that was in August of last year.
No, man.
The election was May.
Yeah.
I am telling you, the convention was not this year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
okay.
right.
The convention. Remember, she withdrew last
Yes,
year.
she-
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she
Okay.
did. Right.
And that was this last year. And then they had the dethroning this year. Okay. And then you had the appointment of Brad McCartney as, the leader in the Senate.
That's
and
correct.
Munkadam in the thing and all that. There was a lot of action going on. That's what's interesting. I was talking to someone today who shall remain unnamed, and I said, and Wendell Jones asked me this too, and I got dragged over the coals by Felix Bethel about what is happening. And I said, well, I think there's the one thing that I feel is that there's more of a sense of calm. So they took that to mean that I thought that people feel that everything's okay. And I said, no, that's not what I mean. I think that prior to May of 2016, there was a lot of furor about politics. There was the fight, the bitter infighting of the F&M thing, that thing.
Was that just heightened because we were then heading into a general election, though?
Well, whatever. I think that F&M fight has been going on for years. That was, literally for years that had been going on. Almost, to be honest with you, almost since the last election. Okay? So that was a tense scenario. Then, of course, you had people's, seemingly and later expressed dissatisfaction with the Progressive Liberal Party. There was a lot. You're not hearing a lot of political furor now. People react to issues, but you're not hearing about the PLP doesn't have infighting going on in their party right now, so that's kind of calm.
Well, they keep it hush.
Well, there's only 3 people to have infighting for, so it's kind of like, okay, it's so it's just not as noisy.
You keep
That
that
might be
stuff
our guess.
private
We
matters,
gotta
that's
go
private.
to
It's
That's
just
stay in the
not.
house.
I just think that generally it's just not as noisy as it was. Maybe that's
We
the
gotta
word
go
I
to
want
break.
to
We
use.
gotta go break.
We'll take it. It's like this.
Yeah.
Okay, and then break. Okay. Rogan Smith, who she's just a nutcase. And the thing is, because I'm, doing the thing, I can say anything I want. But as most nutcases, we love her. You have to, special people. We care for them. Now, how you doing, girl?
I'm checking for you.
Checking for me. Anyway, so we have Candelaria Thompson, who's with us, who's been with us for many, many years, of course. And this is our last show
Yes.
of the year. Mm-hmm. So we thought that we would do it in a kind of a special way, which, you can always classify things as special. But I was telling you how a couple of weeks ago, I guess months ago, no, about maybe a month ago, when we had the Cove relaunch, I was leaving with my daughter, and Charbet was by the Cove pool. And I think she said something to me like, yeah, I missed the show yet, or something. What did you say? Because you seem to remember everything. I don't remember nothing.
Yeah, I first started off by saying what the last topic was on the show, because I think you had an MP, and I was like, wow, you went real soft on him.
Okay, who's MP?
I wasn't sure, but I know he wasn't making much sense to me at all.
The last MP we had was probably
why
Frankie
Campbell. Okay. And anyway, and so then what you said?
And I said, you said, oh, you do listen? And I said, yes, I do. I make sure to listen. Sometimes I sit in my car and I just sit there and listen. Wow. Okay. And I said, you don't let average people call in, but you know why.
Mm-hmm. That's what you said?
Yeah.
You said that?
Yes.
I must have had a couple of drinks. I don't remember none of that part. So anyway.
What is it about the show that
let me finish. So then I didn't remember you.
No,
we can get to that part. But then I didn't, remember you. And so I came here and I said to Rogan, because we always try to make comment about someone who may have made a comment when we were out in out and about. Mm-hmm. But I said I don't remember who it was. But I said I'm sure I'm gonna run into her again. And of course we did. And now you're here. There. Please, Rogan.
That's what she said.
No, you go ahead.
No. I just wanted to clear. I finished the evolution.
Go ahead.
No. You want to
ask
about
No, I just want, because I just listening to you saying, you sit in the car and listen to the show. What is it about the show that? Because you said just now we don't allow the average person to call into the show, and it's not about excluding average people, but sometimes they can derail the conversation. But what is it about the show that keeps you listening in?
I think it's the realness of it. It's not the whole factor that, like he said earlier, we don't rehearse anything, we don't bring any paperwork, and you could sense that and you could see it. So it obviously feel like some people just sitting down having a honest and clear conversation. It doesn't start off with, well, welcome to the show today. It's not that start off. It start off like you see what happened yesterday, and then it's. I consider it to be the them conversation because it's for a different type of people that listen to radio. It's the people that are up there that understand all of the big words that you use. And by the time I've already searched Google.
I don't know no big words.
I know the big word. It's like, the coloscoscope full of something. And I'm like, Google is not moving fast enough. Yeah. And then you
Google
have the people who
friend.
Believe they know everything. When technically half of the time they don't even know what the topic is. Oh, it's in our rights.
Yeah.
And it's the Constitution, and they, it's our rights.
It's our rights to just plant ourselves anywhere.
And then you have the person who just listen because probably have a project coming up or something, or their mom always tell them listen to find out. They want to know who died, who came alive, what happened on the road, and then you just have me. Like I don't really do the news, watching the news because they do show you what they want. I don't do the Facebook news because they show you what you want, and I don't appreciate the way they bring stuff to the forum. Yeah. So then interesting topics come on, like the last one I think had the musician on.
Freddie.
Oh, Freddie.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't even know that, and I didn't know this, and I didn't know that.
He's a historian,
Bert Williams and all that stuff. Yeah.
And obviously for about
Joe
it stays
Spence.
in your mind for about 24 hours. So the next day I'm at work and I'm smart. I'm like, did you know that this song? And then 2 days later someone said, so what you was talking about the other day? And I was like, you know what? You should have listened to this show. I'm not going to sit here and fill you up with my knowledge. That's possibly because I've already forgotten what it was about. But it's good to know. It makes you proud to be a Bahamian to learn these things. And he was really
good. Fantastic.
What's interesting what you said about that, because I don't know if you remember, during the show I'd mentioned we were talking about Joe Spence, which the average Bahamian may not even know about, right? And when I was actually explaining that to some other people, to your point about that sense of pride, that you could, when you start talking about how I showed him a video of how this European guy was talking about the Joe Spence style of music.
Yeah.
And you were at the meeting when we were with Inga and
yeah. No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't
there.
That's right. Yeah. So so you're absolutely right. What we wanted to do 3 years ago, well, 3 years will be July, I think, is we said, there's a lot of shows on the radio which, people, it's entertainment and people are talking and calling and yelling and screaming. But we'd like to be able to have a show when people are driving home or not. They're not stressing out, but they can learn something. Not from us, but from the people who we interviewed. Is that what you get from the show?
Yeah, a lot too. Especially, I can't remember exactly which MP it was, but it was when we were talking about taxis.
You make me. You see, you get me scared because you're remembering too many shows now.
No, it was the taxi one. It was the taxi.
That was Frankie Campbell. Yeah, that's the last MP we had.
Yes, it was the taxi person, and I was like, oh man, I do wish you guys talk on bus drivers because I could talk about jitney for days.
We didn't get into jitney.
And I was like, they didn't get into the jitney, but I actually caught a bus about a few days later, and I was like, don't worry. They talk with the taxi people. They coming for you. They coming for you. And I'm going to write this bus number down because I'm going to make sure Mr. Fiels talk about you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, and it brings, and you do speak very real. There's no subliminal messages. It is what it is.
Subliminal.
There's no subliminal message. It is what it is, and so that's what I appreciate the most.
Well, listen, I don't want to just talk about us. I want to talk about your view of things, because what we discovered, what I discovered as Rogan has been, she has more people talking to her than talk to me, and you when you're sitting in a radio station like we are now, right? You don't really feel the impact of the listenership. Unless you have a talk show and then calling and then you get that feedback.
That instant feedback.
If you're in a room, we're just talking to each other, which actually makes it more comfortable and safe, right? But so you get surprised when people comment on the show, because you figure only me and Ken and Rogan are in this, right? But what you'd like to find out is if what type of topics people would like to hear about. I'd like to hear what you think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we want to do now is start bringing people like Charvette on, who may have heard something and hear their perspective on it, that type of thing, But let me ask you, you tell people what you do, and you do work over at Atlantis, but tell us what you do.
Well, I've been in Atlantis for 11 years, and I started off in the water park as a level 3, so it's just an attraction guard.
Right.
And I always said that if I ever got a job around water, because when I used to live in Gambier, and we used to hop the fence to use other people's pool, and so we had a lookout that would say, "Hey, they coming, you gotta hop the fence." And one time after I land on the ground so hard, I say, you know what? If I ever have an opportunity to get a job where there's water, I won't turn that down. And so I was working in the water park for 11 years. I worked my way from a level 3 up to a level 1, and then I became a full-time trainer for about 2 years, and then I was an assistant manager. And then when all was dandy and fine, I was diagnosed with lupus. And God still made it a way where I didn't have to walk away from my job, but I was able to be blessed to put into an office space where safety is the number one, because I did time as an EMS personnel as well. So I was able to be put in the safety office, and it takes a while when you transition through things to accept things, but when I sit back and look at how it all was paved out throughout my whole career in the hotel, I love it, and I thank God for it every minute of the day. So I'm been married. I've been with my husband for 16 years, and I have 2 daughters. So
that's those ones who say they hungry before.
Yeah,
they tell say they hungry.
I wish Wendy's had a call in, because I'm so tired. Yeah, I have my own personal Chinese. I have my own personal this or whatever. I wish I could have called Wendy's. That would have made things a little quicker.
Yeah.
So your management level. I'm not using this word, but you're a working Bahamian person.
Yeah.
And so what are the things that matter to you? What is it that, from you see the kind of experience that our guests have, and this isn't about Atlantis. I'm just talking about your job experience. And so you see what's happening there. You see what's happening in the country. What are the things that concern you? And you how old are your kids?
My daughter is 13 and my other one is 8.
Right. So what? I can see you're a very concerned person.
Yeah.
What concerns you about the potential, that what can happen for their future in this country?
What I've realized between the past growing up kids and the now growing up kids, the one thing I feel that the Bahamas is lacking is gratefulness. We have a lot of young people that are ungrateful. My friends would say, why do you show your kids the mass shooting in Las Vegas? Why would you show your kids the stuff that's happening around the world? You need to be grateful. You have a lot of kids that want to grow up in the United States and want to be a part of the United States, but those people have tornadoes. Those people have tsunamis. I would show my kids anything. I still let them watch old slave movies so they can understand where we've come from. And I think our number one industry is service. It's not tourism. If we tell our kids tourism, the way they look at it is like, oh, a bunch of guests come, they could come if they want to come, and they could stay if they want to stay. But if we train our kids in service, they'll be more respectful, not just to guests, but to every person they encounter. That's right. It is a service, and a service the way you answer the phone. It's a service in smiling at somebody. It's a service in saying good morning to somebody. And if you and God talks about service. He's the number one person. He served you information, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So it's all about service. And I think we do not train our kids to be grateful. and we don't have these things in school.
You know, it's interesting. It's so interesting that you said that, because I was talking with someone. They know who I was talking with, so I won't reveal his name. You want to swing around it? You lullabying yourself, man. You lullabying yourself. I was saying to this gentleman, we were talking. I said, you know, when you think about the Bahamas, right? You think about. I mean, this kind of gives me little goosebumps, right? We have a lot of problems. There's no doubt about it. But you start comparing. You know, we like to compare. Yeah. But you start comparing to what you know. We were talking about yesterday. One of the loneliest places on the planet is the United States. Yeah. In a big city. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can look at you know, growing up, you watch TV. You go, New York, boy. Yeah. Boy, I'd love to go to New York, man. That could be a very lonely place. Every time I go to New York, you know what I tell my wife? As long as there's a New York, there's going to be a Bahamas. Because if you ever left there and ended up here, you're coming back. Mm-hmm. Because you'll understand that is not good. Mm-hmm. Okay? There are whole continents I don't want to be on. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be anywhere else in the Caribbean. I don't want to be anyone else in the Central America. Or, you know, so grateful. I mean, you know, and I don't know if I would put it that way, but it's looking at things more positively. Mm-hmm. And we're going to take a break, because I think by being negative, we create this spiral.
I like what she said, though. Yeah.
You know?
It's a lack of gratitude.
Yeah, we create a spiral that we just sink into, you know? Yeah. We'll be right back with Charvette. I guess we neglected to say this. Happy holidays.
Yes.
To
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Seasons,
we put the Christ
as we
back
say.
in Christmas.
We would like you to have a happy holiday season. Holiday. You know, the thing is, in the Bahamas, too, and our special guest today is Charvette Miller, you know, I think there's probably, maybe, unless someone else can tell me where it is, when you say happy holidays in the Bahamas, I don't know if that has the same connotation as it does elsewhere. I think their happy holidays, Christmas, it over, bye, let's go to work. Happy holidays is like from the 15th of December.
The problem is they don't have junk in them.
That's what they got.
They ain't got junk in them.
People?
Listen, I'm not that loyal, because I would be shouting roots, but if Valley win, I get into their party.
So you're a bandwagoner. You're a bandwagoner.
I don't know what to call me.
No, bandwagoner. I just called you.
Okay, I'm bandwagoner.
He's a bandwagoner. You go with the minutes.
Yeah, you go with the minutes. You know. So I don't want to sit home with the people who lose. No,
and then you probably say, and then you throw this Bahamian phraseology. I was ever a Valley.
No, I don't do the whatever. I'll be honest with you. I'm just not that loyal.
I just come from
I go with the Saxons. They have party regardless. But hey, I don't want to stay home with people crying.
So everybody is there.
Don't make no sense staying home sulking.
You have an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old. And what I've realized nowadays is that these children, they're in a different mode. I don't know. What's that?
Like when your kids just go and you gotta zoom. You gotta.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just y'all, but it seems to me that the kids who are like 8 or 9 years old, or even younger, are speaking like adults. Okay?
Yeah.
Like when and it starts, I told you this before, Rogan, it starts when they're very young, like when the child came to my house at the party. Oh! And at the end of the party, when we handed the party bag, he goes, I wonder where the hell these was. Okay? So, and see, that's when you forget he's a child, because you want to go, oh, you want to get down it. Okay? Okay? I was wondering when the hell y'all was going to bring these out. That's what the boy said to me. So, but your kids, though, I imagine your kids, what's their perspective? How do you, when you discuss things with them, what's their perspective?
Perspective on what?
Just life. I mean,
on kids. Talking to my kids about stuff. Yeah,
when your kid, how do they see the Bahamas? How do they see the world?
I feel it's a swap in the ages, because my 13-year-old is the baby and my 8-year-old is the adult.
That happens.
So you try to have a conversation. You try to do it what I call a televised conversation, because you see it on TV. They tell you how to talk to your kids, and you bring them in. You have a seat, and you be like, well, and then my 8-year-old say, Mommy, get to the point, man. My show on commercial. Is this gonna be long?
I got this kind of time.
One time I was rowing, I took time. On the way home I was driving, and I had a speech with myself, and I'm like, this is how it's about to go down. So you jump out your car and you energetic now.
Hold on, stop
a
second.
Speech with herself.
You did like a coach, like a little practice.
Yeah.
how you can deal with that.
Tone of voice, everything. You say, don't do that. No, don't say it that way. You say, don't do that. You want to be, because you don't want to cross the child abuse mental state situation. And I went home and I brought them and I set the mood. I even probably turned on some music, just a little low. So you don't feel like it's that harsh. Because when you Google stuff all day, you kind of find
That's Candy. You've been talking to Candy.
Yeah, that's Candy. Yeah, into a twin.
So I went there and I'm starting to talk and I'm saying, you guys, I expect so much out of you. You guys are beautiful. You giving the encouragement. And then I see my 8-year-old, she keep looking at her watch. So I'm like, la or whatever. And she says, so Mom, is this going to be any longer because I have to watch something at 7 o'clock and then the Bahamian in you comes out and say, let me
you go, then you all I do is skills went out the window.
And it's bad if you have to look around in your house and see if there's extra people there. So you're like, just to see if someone can see you grab her. You know what? Just go in the name of Jesus. But I feel you don't hide things from kids. You don't hide it, especially with my 13-year-old. If I see a video come across Facebook or through WhatsApp, people like to post things, car crashes, some things that are not right, little videos. She has a phone, but my husband is a lion. I respect him to the fullest. It took me a couple of years to get to know him. It's so serious that if he's coming around the corner to discipline them, I line up. I'm like, child, daddy coming. So he's the lion in the house. So if I set a rule, that's a suggestion.
Does he conduct seminars?
No. It's the silence in him that makes you respect that. So if I say something, that's a suggestion. That's my opinion. But if Dad says something, that's gospel. And so I tend to go to him and say, could you, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, see, but I like your thought process.
I try to be as clear to them and let them see him, because this is what is out in the world. This is what's going on. I feel when you don't educate your kids as to what's going on, that's when they have blind trust. And they trust people that can lead them the wrong way. So it's not a time. If you're not being real with your kids, somebody else is, whether it be from Facebook, YouTube, all these different things. Because I just tell my daughter, I found out, my husband said, did you know she's on Instagram? I said, no, this until I said, come off. And I went and I said, your daddy said, come off of Instagram. And that was it.
She came off?
Yes. And that's because growing up in my house.
Is she available for rent?
Growing up in my house, I call my husband daddy from we had kids. And my daughter,
I know a family like that.
And my mom, even though my father wasn't present, the one thing I wanted to make sure is when I found out I was having girls, you guys need your dad in your life. So whatever we went through in our relationship had to be settled because of the girls. And so I knew what not living with a father did to me. So I wanted them to have their father. So I called them their dad. And my daughter asked me a couple weeks ago, she said, why do you still call him dad? I say, because you can't call him nothing else in this house.
Well, let me ask you a question, since we're talking about husbands and daddies and that sort of thing. Your husband, have you guys had an opportunity to talk about, because this has been in the news for a couple of days now, this marital rape issue? It seems to polarize Bahamians every time it comes to the fore. Have y'all in y'all home had an opportunity to talk about this?
We don't discuss things like that. We don't discuss politics. We do not discuss. When PLP and FNM was going around asking who we voting for, I said I'm voting for my husband. He's the only elected in this house. So, but I've had discussions with other people concerning marital rape, and it doesn't really matter what title you put in front of it. Rape is rape. It's force and damage to a body. You know.
I don't know where this comes up. It's could it be marital murder? Marital theft? To me,
you know what? You're right.
I don't get it.
You're right.
If you hold someone down forcibly, it's rape.
They say no, they don't want it.
But I told someone the other day, I was at the wash house, and this lady, this little girl was playing with a toy, and this little boy ran up and yucked it out her hand. So I thought that was her little brother. And the lady came over and she told him, you can't do that. That's not yours. And he threw himself on the ground, and she's a young mom, and I'm a young mom, and she went to pick him up, and I said, leave him on the ground.
I would.
And she said,
you mean like a tantrum?
Yeah, he's throwing a tantrum. I said, leave him on the ground. I said, and leave him on the ground, and then walk over him. Let him see you walk over him, probably in slow motion.
Slow motion.
And walk over him. And she said, why? I said, because this is why you can't tell a young brother right now that something or someone doesn't belong to him.
That's right.
Because you encourage him by saying, or you go and you buy him his own toy just like that. So all you have to do is switch a chick or switch a wife and beat up on her. She does not belong belong to you. Yes, one guy told me, say, God gave you dominion over the earth. So I said, if he gave you dominion over the earth, why is the yard dirty?
Zingo mingo.
Why? If the yard dirty.
Wait,
she does not belong to you.
Yeah.
You know, and
she's not your
if
property.
I belong to you.
Of course, you know, there's the clergy, and many of them, they don't hold that view. I mean, at the highest level.
Are they married?
I know, listen, let me tell you. Do you know that there are churches? This is a fact. This is not a thing. There are churches where essentially women cannot speak in the church.
Oh, I went to one of those churches. I was put out.
They can't speak in the church. And where they sit, they have to sit, and they can't be on the altar. It's all
and then the head has to be covered, and they have to be in the
crazy.
back. And I was invited to one of those churches. And you know how the pastor tells people bye at the end of the whole entire thing?
Right.
The pastor calls the lady that invited me, and she's like, don't bring her back.
You lie.
But you know the funny thing about it is, they wonder why their congregations are dwindling.
Yes.
It will dwindle because you know what? Unless they evolve.
Yeah, people are
With the
wisening
times,
up.
you know, if they have a word to preach, fine. But they've got to move with the times. But I'm not going to get into the religion thing. It's funny that you say. It's funny that you said that you don't discuss politics in your house, because I was going to ask you, you know, just as, and I guess this will be the kind of the wind-up
I
thing.
don't discuss it with my husband. I discuss it with everybody else.
That's what I was going to ask you. What is your, without being partisan, okay? What is your outlook with regard to how the Bahamas will fare going forward over the next, several years?
You know, you learn something every day. So what is partisan?
Oh, whether you pick with one party or the other.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Yeah.
I can't remember what
by the way,
Caribbean country.
I admire that.
What? And I didn't know.
And then you say it.
I didn't know.
Yeah. That's good. Good
You
stuff.
learn something every day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I can't remember what country it was. I think it was the prime minister that married Lisa Ray or something like that, the movie star, Turks and Caicos. You remember when he bankrupted them?
Yeah.
And the British government's like, we're gonna send somebody to fix it, and they say we don't want that person. We want to do it ourselves. And then they stand.
Still a colony, by the
Yes,
way.
and they stand on the runway so the plane couldn't land. And what they did was they grabbed people from one party and grabbed people from another party, and they made their party. And then the Queen's like, okay, I didn't want to be all anyway. So they had their own people. There are good people in the PLP. There are good people in the FNM, and there are some very wise people in the DNA. But
you're going deep on the DNA. You're going very wise.
Yeah,
they're very wise people in the DNA.
Just a few days ago.
She say good, very wise.
Yeah. They're very wise because I mean, until you get your feet in the mud, you're gonna stay pure.
Yes. Ooh.
And so they're pure at this time. Now I don't know what's gonna happen when they start getting their foot dirty.
Yeah.
But they're very wise, and I feel like from the time. No disrespect, please. Don't catch me in the streets, Miss Butler. From the time Loretta Butler slapped that young man
yes,
in the House of Parliament, I say, hey, they just said it was okay to beat people up.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
They set the precedent for the people.
No,
you can't control me or put rules on me that you want.
General behavior in the House of Assembly.
Exactly.
I mean,
the
we've been talking about that for years.
the bombing on the table, and people
shouting people down.
They're walking out.
We were taught when we were growing up, and people are speaking.
Shush.
You let them speak.
And if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah, and by the way, again, because it's always fair to make sure that you put this thing in context. Oddly enough, this is the general behavior in a lot of houses of assemblies, which is sad, because the leadership is showing this to the people. This is okay to do.
And these are supposed to be honorable men. And we call them honorable men.
Well, listen, Charvette, all I can say is this. Thank you very much. So before you go, though, let me ask you, everything planned for the Christmas?
Oh, yes. This is the best.
You're going to be on the streets?
This is my best year ever.
You're going to be on the streets tomorrow?
What tomorrow doing?
Friday. I mean, after because I mean the shopping and all that.
I don't do the shopping stuff. Okay. I from that good. What they call it, Black Friday.
Friday from Thur.
I believe Black Friday is for Black people, so I feel we should shop during that time.
Yeah.
But it's been a blessing for me for this Christmas because I MC events.
Okay.
So I MC weddings, birthday parties, and so on and so forth.
Very articulate and good
so
voice.
I have 3 weddings. I have a wedding this Saturday and wedding the following Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm actually working the Super Bowl, what do they call it, the Popeyes Bowl
Yeah.
On
tomorrow.
Friday.
Yeah, so I'm
When I
going to
get
be
married
down
again,
there.
I'll let you MC my wedding, okay?
No problem.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
You'll never be there. It's never going to happen again.
Hey, don't say never. Say never.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
I told you I'll never.
By you saying never,
Yeah.
I pray for you because you just open up the door for love.
I put mouth on myself. I
Yeah.
get it. All right. So
But
listen.
it's
That's what
for
they
me.
say.
I think
Yeah.
I think the most best gift I've ever had for Christmas was waking up, and I don't mean waking up from a sleep. I'm talking about waking up to reality. And I just posted on Facebook the other day. I said, I met me, and there's some things that I need to change. And so I feel like 2018 is my go-getter year. And just being here, present at this time, has put, they say, what you buff up your chest? Child, I'm big right now in my world. You should come over to my world. I'm big now. Ain't nothing touching me. So it's just coming here and being a part of this experience is a blessing, and it's a hurdle that you climb over. So
Listen, I want to thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll have you back. You know, that's how we go. We tend to have people back. That's how Candy all the time. So, but thank you. Have a good Christmas.
I surely will, and you too.
And I'm sure we'll see each other across the way.
All the time.
All right.
Oh, I want to say one thing, though.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You ain't gonna round me out.
No,
Okay.
I just wanted you to know what was so weird about it. One of the main reasons as to why I spoke to you is because I told one of my friends, I said, I'm going to say something to him. And he's like, oh, you better don't do that. That's Mr. Ed Fields. You don't do that. And I was like,
He got
yeah, that's
stingrays.
Mr. Ed Fields, but I'm Miss Chevy.
That's right.
Chevy's going to speak to Ed. So he's like, oh, what you going to say? I said, this ain't no rehearsal.
You know?
I said, I want you to tell me, I bet you wouldn't. And she said, I bet you wouldn't. And then he was coming up, and I spin around, and I say, hey, Ed, what's
I
up?
didn't say how you doing.
And she's like, oh, he spoke. I say,
I don't know where they get this impression.
You didn't give some King A.
I don't know where they get this impression.
they're so scared.
I don't understand.
should've-
Did I have ever given you that impression that you couldn't speak to me?
Exactly. You remember from. You would have met him from before and spoken to him.
See,
from,
people form opinions without knowing. You know, like
Yeah.
you say, people
Yeah.
form
They do.
opinions without knowing. Oh, so now at least now they all clear then.
Yeah,
Stay straight.
yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
They ain't coming on the show though.
I feel if I come back, it's going to definitely prove it.
Hey, they ain't coming on the show though. Since and by the way, tell them it isn't that I spoke. They never spoke.
Exactly.
Spoke and you get spoke.
Okay.
All right. Listen, Chavette, thank you very much, and
you.
we'll
Yes,
see you.
it
We'll
was
see you and have a very
awesome.
Merry Christmas.
Thank
Yes,
you.
have a good
Tell the
Christmas.
lion, give me a buzz. I need to take some pointers.
Well,
And what are the names of your kids?
shout out to Michaela and Malia Miller,
Nice
my
name.
husband of 16 years. I love you
MM.
so much.
Everyone name MM.
Mr. Michael
Eminem.
Miller. I just made
Oh,
sure the
Michael.
MMs was good because
Yeah.
if you leave, you carry your kids with your name mine. And my mom and everybody in Water Park and Marina Water Park and Base and all you guys and family and loved ones and those that just everybody wants a Chevy. So
Yes.
thank you all.
Yeah.
And thank
All
you
right.
guys for having me.
Yeah, of
You're welcome,
course.
baby.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a
We'll
good
be right
Christmas.
back. We're going to talk some more, and then we have to do our little exchange. All right.
Yeah.
That's your boy.
My baby Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie gone.
Ronnie gone, eh? He gone, man.
Let me ask you a question. This is, again,
Move
unrehearsed.
that mic. Oh, move it. Pull it closer.
Yeah,
Let me see.
um,
Okay, thank you, baby.
Do only people of the African persuasion say things like at the funeral, like Rogan gone? I mean, and try to throw yourself in the hole?
Corny.
Do people
Say of the African
do
persuasion.
Europeans? I don't know.
I don't know,
I'm
'cause
just, I know
don't
for
know.
sure the
Maybe they
Africans do that. I'm just wondering if
Or
they're the only
we
people.
take mourning to a different level.
The people have to live here.
And you can't be outdone.
But that's the question.
If somebody
now, this
holler
is
loud, you
see,
gotta
this
holler
is the
louder.
question I want to ask, and I know it's kind of dingy, right? But this is the question I want to ask: Is it real? See,
Yeah,
because
man.
I see some people, it's just too much.
Some
it's,
people
it's like,
overdo it.
Okay, we got it. You're sad. But the dragging and and by the way, they become very heavy. You can't move them. Okay? For some
you
reason,
tried to move them?
fellas can't move. One woman who won't go in Ronnie grave. Okay? Okay?
Boy.
But it's like their moment.
For some people, it is their moment. Yeah, I have a relative. I'll say I almost
She does
said
it
how.
all the time?
What? Designated
funeral?
choir at the
Okay.
funeral, okay? Designated thrower herself in the grave.
grave.
Oh, okay?
So you're coming now. Watch her.
Yes, everybody wait.
Ken, go on! Ken!
And the wail goes like,
Yeah.
Mama God.
And meanwhile, everyone else is like.
Every time in that same tone.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
just
everyone
the
else
person
is
who
like,
passed.
Jesus.
It snaps you out of your morning stage.
Hey.
I used like there was a church.
She really got to carry on like that.
There was a church. Well, it makes you feel embarrassed. You wonder if the dead person's going to get me out of here. I used to go to this one church, right? And this chap, I won't say who it is, but every Sunday at the prescribed time, he'd fall out. Okay? So you go to church, you're just like, okay, I'm coming. It's like, come on, man. Okay? The Lord is not hitting you at this exact same time every time.
This is a lie. This is a regular church service?
Yes.
This your church?
No, I didn't. This is way back. This is way back. It was a church that my family went to. And I would go, every now and again I would go, and sure enough, the chap, right? And he was like in charge of something. He was like carrying the cross or something like that. He fall, and what killed me is why they didn't demote him. Okay? If you're going to fall out in the procession thing, we need to move on to someone else who's not going to fall out. Okay?
Boy.
You know, I would have called him in as the pastor and said, "Hi, Candy. How things are good with you and the family?"
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Listen, we've had a
number of
complaints. It's difficult to bring this up, but we've had a little discussion, and we think that maybe perhaps that the carrying of the cross is not a good fit for you.
You're fit to carry the cross.
No, it's just not a good fit. And then he'll go, "Well, why? I've been carrying it for years." No, but we feel that perhaps you'd like to be in charge of, say, distributing the pamphlets after church.
Whenever you're walking out.
Which is more responsibility. And we thought we'd give the carrying of the cross to Rogan to do from now on. Okay? Because she tends not to fall out. You know? But every time, man. You know, and they went with it.
Funny.
They went with it. I think it was just entertainment for them.
Yeah.
You know,
but when that grief hits you, though, I know some people just overdo it and that's their thing. When they go to the funeral, that's what they're known for. But some people, boy, that grief hits you. You don't know how you react.
I'm going to start.
Yeah, see, I'm going to start going to funerals.
I've seen rolling over.
I'm going to start going to funerals because I'm going to start assessing. I'm going to do a polling. These people come in very calm. They're calm. They're there. Probably like who you say, your aunt or whatever?
No, I didn't say who it was. I said a relative.
Okay. It's not Ilya.
No, but my mom can control herself.
I'll go there and slap up.
She said, tell you how she listening to the show.
So
you go there and slap up.
Okay? Catch yourself.
My mom don't do that, babe.
Look at her now. Look.
What?
She's very calm. Look, now watch. As soon as they start to lower.
That's the moment.
Once they start to lower.
That's it. It's finality.
Lord, that's finality.
Yeah.
Kimmy gone.
Kimmy. Otnell's
it's always
gone.
somebody.
He always like to use this word. His name Otnell. Fuck, he gone.
Why Otnell? Kimmy? You know, so I'm going to just go. I want to maybe go with it because I think most people are afraid to approach them.
Why are we laughing?
So I think what you should do is go to them and say, "Look, I know Kimmy's gone. I get it.
He's not coming.
Kimmy's asked me.
She?
Kimmy's asked me to tell you.
Kimmy dead. Kimmy.
Kimmy knew this was going to happen. Kimmy asked me to tell you if you could just lay off just a little bit, turn the volume down. Okay, we're trying to get him buried here.
Trying to be in peace, eh? No. He's trying to rest in peace.
He's trying to rest in peace. It's 5:38, and we're trying to get this done before 6. Kimmy's asked me to relate to you.
Right. Chill out.
Okay. Perhaps we can arrange to do this another time.
Listen.
In the privacy of your home.
Would you? I would want to be cremated.
That's my thing too.
You all have a preference? You can
No, I want cremation.
Cremated? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You want cremation, babe?
Yeah.
4 people in this.
Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody to.
Wow. I don't want anybody to see me.
But you see, you know what's going to happen with that case? See, Candy, the screamer, the wailer, you can't beat her. They burned Kimmy up! Why they burned Kimmy up?
Oh, Lord, they burn her to ashes.
And she can try and yuck the ash out your arm. Yeah. Kimmy! So you can't win with them.
Now, but would you want to be in an urn? Hold on. Would you want to be an urn? in an urn in the house, or would you want your
just
thing
throw it away, just finish.
Scattered.
I mean, I don't even care what they do. They could just throw it down the thing. When they burn it, just whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right? No,
okay?
because you're dead.
I know what to do with it.
Okay, yeah.
You're dead.
But the point is, you can't. What you have to start doing is this, and this is what I recommend to you in Illinois, to your relative Minnesota. I don't know what her name is. Okay, you need to start an invitation list to funerals, and don't invite her. Don't let her know that Kemi's dead.
The relative.
The relative.
Yeah. No, she ain't coming.
Okay. Just tell her about Kemi after the funeral. You know we buried Kemi last week, right?
I want to be buried very, very quickly. Not buried. I'm disposed of very, very quickly. I don't want anybody to see my face when I'm gone.
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyway, that's enough of that. We have how much time left? We have to do some exchange of gifts, I think.
Yes. This
Not
was the
on
most
air.
difficult.
Yes, we're doing it on air.
Yes, girl.
And it doesn't matter if you bought a dead gift. We don't care.
A dead gift?
No, that's what I think you're afraid of.
Yeah.
We don't care.
What does a dead gift mean,
I don't
though?
exactly. We will pretend that it's a wonderful gift. Don't worry.
I agree.
Okay?
You know what?
I agree.
Where you going?
I take it off.
I take it back. Your outfit don't look good.
Yeah, which is split apart. Okay. So I will give now this one here.
No, we have to say who we had, whose names we had, and all that.
He's got mistletoe socks.
Let me see.
They have
By the way,
oh
do
my
you
goodness,
like?
your outfit is even more perfect.
By the way, do you like the piping on the shoe?
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is dirty shoes.
He's got red piping.
Hey, put your foot down. Let me see.
No, he's got red.
Yes.
You can't see it underneath there. Look
Would you
at
like
that.
to take it off
He's
and look?
got mistletoe.
And do you see the lion on the back?
The lion.
You know.
Yeah, don't worry
all right,
about it.
Point on point.
All right, now
I
let me see
can't
who
take
this
that
is.
away from you. I
This is
can't
for
take
Kendrick.
that away from
This is
you.
for
Okay, so whose name? Okay.
Oh, I can
Are
tell
we
you.
gonna
Yeah, we gotta say whose names
discuss
we
whose
have.
names we got?
I'm going to disclose.
Oh my god.
And by the way, the people who are listening out there, if you feel left out, it's too bad.
It's too bad.
There you go. Kendrick, you picked my name.
You picked his name?
What is this
You
now?
picked Kendrick's name?
No, that's I'm giving gifts generally.
Oh, well, no, we gotta give gifts who we pick
Okay,
names
but I mean,
from.
okay, but hold on. This is my gift from thing. But hold on. I'm giving.
So Kendrick had Edward's name.
You had Edward's name.
Oh, that is
my
hilarious.
God.
I picked
That
Candy's
is
name.
so
this
picked
is.
my name?
I said it already. Candy.
So I get a dad
name.
gift. Oh Jesus.
So this is the gift. This is the gift.
I'll beat all your
I gave
little-
y'all multiple gifts. I'm older than y'all. I gave y'all multiple gifts.
I gave multiple gifts to some of
No,
y'all.
So this is your
Y'all run
gift.
out.
This
That's
is your gift.
wrong.
No,
No,
it's not
but-
wrong.
no, it's not.
This
It's
is your
just-
gift from me from the picking.
Okay.
And then you have
There's
this
something
in here.
in there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And then also, I gave you this gift.
Me?
It's a gift. Just this is a non-gift gift.
And look where it's from.
Oh, nice.
Tory Bird.
I gave Rogan because she's a jealous already. I gave her that
I'm not
gift.
jealous.
You got one too,
Thank
girl.
you. I don't know what it is,
And
but
then
thank
this
you.
is Rogan's gift. Why did I get her all those gifts?
Guess what? I got you a couple of stuff
Okay.
too.
And then this is Rogan's gift.
Okay,
here.
hold on. Let me do
Okay.
this here.
Okay.
Thank you, Edward.
heavy.
Okay. Oh wow, put it
And
right
that's the
there for me.
gifts.
Now watch this. Okay, so this is Kendrick's. I picked Kendrick's name.
I'm sitting over here and I have
Here
a
you
gift.
go, Kendrick. Right?
I'm opening this up.
This is.
We're not
Edward's-
opening, are we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Oh my
Give
god.
that to Edward. Hold on. I have this one.
We could run out, boy.
No. Here you go.
Oh, these are some heavy gifts.
That's for Edward.
This is mine, Edward.
You have to go into
And
your box
Candy, this is
and empty your
this
gift.
is
You
yours.
Oh
you
my
have to open up
goodness.
your cards.
This is the first time I did not give cards.
By the way, this is yours for the, this is the regular stuff. People don't know about this one.
Oh,
Give
thank
that
you.
to, give that to her.
Oh, I just put this in my pocket.
That's
Well, where am I?
I even forget
That's a
about
salary
that.
then.
Well, where am
That's
I?
my last salary.
Hey,
You don't get paid in that. Oh.
yes, I do. It is the end of the month.
It is?
It is.
Listen, don't beg on the
I put you on blast on here. It's the end of the month.
This is the end of the month?
Yeah, it is. It's the last show, Ed.
Oh, this last show. Okay, I have to make him. I'll do something for you then.
Oh.
In that case.
Does
Does someone have a pen?
What is this?
It's a wireless. This for your boombox for your for the PV.
Yeah,
boy, I need this, boy. I just got a thing of boy.
I just got a
got a
one
new
for the
TV and I
house
need
myself.
this. I have one in my other TV, and so this is perfect.
What is it?
It's a sound bar, so it's like a speaker.
That's a pretty
And I just
cool.
got
That's
just
a
got
pretty
it.
cool
Five
one.
shades of room.
Wow.
Just perfect, my brother. Thank you. Oh.
Wow. Hey,
We're
I
almost
know,
like
right?
you almost want to hug.
I
Just
know,
perfect.
right? Oh my
Let me
goodness.
see.
This is so adorable. Look at that.
I think my gift is cheesy, but Kendrick was sweating.
Okay, Kendrick,
why are you sweating, though?
What I did was I made up with my gifts because I didn't know if my gift was going to be adequate. Let me have the thing.
See, I mean, you know, like when you're adults, like you don't know if people buy any gifts. So I got for everybody in the room. That's why. No.
By the way, you have to swing the mic over to Kendrick. It shouldn't be that he's.
Come, Ken, you got to get in on this.
I like
Kendrick,
all
this is a great gift, man.
Like all this?
Most people give really screwed up
Thank
gifts.
you very much.
Is that a decent gift?
Oh my God, let me see.
Well, it has a martini glass on it.
love
So
that.
Let me have a thing. A pen.
I love it's a.
Who has a pen? Oh, right here. Okay, that's all I'm asking for.
Oh my
Thank you.
goodness, that is so nice.
Yes,
That's
very nice.
okay.
I just.
What is this now?
Well,
What is
if
the
I
date?
take this
The
cover
24th?
off of it, yes, because I already have a cover. But
Love
that's
relentlessly.
And guess what?
What?
Do you
Edward,
know
thank you
for
so
my
much.
business logo, I've decided on purple.
Huh? Kendra,
I didn't know that was
I'm not
because you
good at
see the
shopping
thing
for
is
men,
with a phone.
So I do
It's
apologize.
did that fit? Does that fit?
Once I take the
Okay, all right.
once I take
Okay.
this off.
You see what I called it? I said because I'm very direct.
I know. I was
I
like,
said,
okay.
Candy, what kind of phone do you have?
You're so funny.
This one
That's
more
very fitting.
aspirational.
Thank you very much, Edward.
Okay.
When you open it, I'll explain it.
Even though I don't call you Edward.
Okay.
Ed.
I almost don't even want to open this one. It's so cute.
Open it.
What's that?
Oh my gosh. I
What's
need to
that?
put this under my tree.
What's that?
It's like this kind of kid.
Oh, from Kendrick?
Kendrick, why are you
I
laughing
know,
though?
right? We do apologize to you guys who are listening on air.
No, we don't apologize. nothing.
Lovely
Fantastic.
picture.
Fantastic, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's yours.
I feel like you're getting
Rogan.
told.
Open it up.
Here.
Oh, you see
Thank
it?
you.
Yes.
Yeah, open it.
Let me see.
And I gave that to you, Kendrick.
Let me see.
Let me
No,
see.
let me
Kendrick
see.
is one of the most
What that is?
It's a money clip.
incredible
Oh.
people
Money
I've
clip?
ever met.
Very
in my
nice.
life.
Money in
Such
that?
a humble spirit.
See if any money in
Thank
it.
I didn't put money in it.
I like
Oh,
this.
so
but
she don't
it
like
is
you.
my prayer that in 2018
You'll have some
the
cash.
money cannot even be held in that money
Well,
clip.
why you gave him a bigger wallet?
Because I was busy buying you a damn gift.
Okay.
Listen, y'all is run right out.
I love that too. I was, hey, there you go. I didn't buy you nothing.
So you're big
Didn't
on
buy you
wrapping,
nothing. I
huh?
ain't gonna put money in Kendrick.
Hey, you're big on wrapping, I see.
Oh
What is
shit.
that?
Paper within paper?
Well, open the bigger one first. What is that? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what is that?
No, Urkel will come for me soon. I'm sorry. I think they heard that.
Well, that's okay. You're fired.
I won't be back for 2018.
That
I'm
card
sure.
is so nice.
Aww.
That isn't it. You
help?
have to look in the thing,
Let
in
me
the clip,
see.
in the under that.
Donna's money, babe.
Yes, babe.
Look at that. Let me see here.
What? Oh, Echo.
For the listening audience, this exchange of gifts going on right now.
Echo.
What's going on in here?
You serious?
I don't like y'all. at
Where's my
all.
gift?
Those were your gifts.
Oh,
What you
okay.
mean?
I don't
What is
like
this?
y'all.
A book?
Yes, you need to read
Your love
more.
is being made. I have to read the whole book. I don't
What
have to
is
read the whole
this,
book now.
Rogan?
What?
What are
This
you
is- this
opening?
is a
Thank you very much,
candle.
Rogan.
You're welcome.
No, let me this is
And it
this must be, I
smells
hope this ain't
incredible.
Altoids.
And you may tell you something? The other day.
It's a candle.
Yes,
Oh,
how
that is
beautiful
lovely.
is that? And I said to someone, I said, I must be getting older because I'm into candles now,
Yeah,
right?
You can put that in your bathroom.
Honey, this is
Do
gorgeous.
you have a bathroom pillow for your tub?
Look what she gave
For my tub? No, I don't.
Melting
You
Trump.
don't soak in the tub.
Yes! Look, show Candy and Kendrick.
What is that?
What is this, candy?
No,
Mel-
it's not candy.
Mel-
Melting
soap?
turn up? What is that?
It
Oh, it
tells
melts.
you how
It's a-
Oh,
okay.
melting
it melts.
Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, because he always having to melt down.
Ah, that is hilarious. See?
Okay.
So
That's
this
very
smells
thoughtful.
so good.
Thank you very much. But I love the echo. Echo.
Yeah, I heard you talk and then
Echo.
About what you wanted.
Echo.
that was tough.
Alexa, please
I don't like
play.
shopping for you.
Is
Turn
that
down
Alexa?
the volume, Alexa.
Since he likes
Is
to
it-
tell a woman what to do, let him tell
Oh,
Alexa.
so Echo. I didn't know. I
Yeah,
thought
she's
the thing
named
was called
So
Alexa.
let
Yes,
Alexa
it's
tell him.
Alexa.
Let him tell Alexa what to do. Candy, you open yours and me open mine.
Man, I feel like
Just
oh
be
Lord.
quiet
Candy.
and you're being silly.
I feel like
You
money.
know it? No, it ain't. It ain't.
Watch this now.
I know you thing and you travel.
Yes, I do. And I thank you very much. Give me 5. Yes.
That's a little
That's
something.
hold on. That's a great gift.
Okay.
That beats the Price Busters mug any day.
For $2.
For $2.
It's a little something.
No, I appreciate this, and
Okay.
this goes a very long way. So thank you very much. This is not a bum
Alright.
game, so you gift. So you shouldn't even say that. This is really good. When these is expired,
listen,
babe?
I'm a very practical person,
You
and I
smart.
like to give practical gifts.
You're smart because you know I do love to travel.
I like these kind of gifts. I don't want
my
nothing
God,
practical.
this
I want these kind.
So oh my
when we were
goodness.
talking inside the hallway, I said, I wonder.
Oh.
Very good, my friend.
You like it?
I
Did you
love
you got my
it.
gifts?
And I said, it's
Okay.
perfect for Christmas.
It's kind of cheesy.
Right
So
now.
you saw the card? Okay. Oh, you like that? That's good. Yeah. See what I got, Kendrick? You see what I got, Kendrick? A weapon.
A weapon.
So it
Like he need one.
no, it's a Leatherman.
Oh, what is that?
It's a many
you do with
tools. Many tools.
Every day is a
A
gift.
tool?
Like it's many tools in one.
Oh, it's many tools.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I need one of these.
Hello.
No, you don't.
Yeah, for true. That's a
And the
nice little
flashlight.
weapon.
And the flashlight. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I got each of y'all a card. Did y'all get
No,
your
I'm
cards?
gonna read it right now.
the-
Oh, I didn't
Okay.
see a
It
card.
said very
Yes,
nice picture
yeah.
this year.
Hold on, let
Right.
me see.
No, but I mean, you saw the thing in the
Yes,
card?
I
Okay.
got this.
I just
I
want to
see
make
the
sure.
card.
That,
Oh yes, yes.
I
yes.
got it, babe.
Okay. Everyone has a card.
Oh,
Kendrick
right.
They're
has a
very
card as well.
excited to
Okay.
listen to our gift exchange.
I know.
Well, we don't. I'm not listening. I'm not. It's not interesting. You know, I'm not. That's not their concern. Okay.
Oh, we brought Christmas early for them.
Yeah. Well, they can feel bad.
I thought you get a bigger.
Is that the red shoes?
No.
Oh, the blue shoes.
The blue
shoes you got
shoes.
All right.
Man, you going all out
Regular.
in your shoes. I mean, because your shoe game been on point all week. You know, with each outfit. But this is, like I said, this is my favorite outfit for the week. I'm not going to see you tomorrow, so I don't know what you're going to wear tomorrow. Can you take a picture?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Edward.
You're welcome,
Thank
my
you
brother.
so
Thank you so
much.
much. This is. Hey.
Everything is love, as they say in the
Hey.
Bahamas. You know.
This for two people?
What's that? Yes, that's for two.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Guess what?
Uh-huh.
I can get my mom.
Illy has a sense of humor.
Yeah, she's extremely funny.
Okay, good.
She's
All right.
extremely funny. This is beautiful.
All right.
Was
This is wonderful
here.
card.
I look at it.
That was your
I
gift
look
in
at
there.
No, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you see, you got your
I mean,
thing.
that's
Did
where
you
it
see
came
that
from.
present?
Oh, I forgot about this. You
got
got
another
this
one?
one too.
Man, let me tell you
Guys,
something.
that's it.
I know that's it.
That's
but let me
it.
say,
That's
I
a-
love you
that's a
all.
present.
Thank you
my
very
goodness.
much.
And not just because y'all
And,
bought me gifts. Because remember when I started off before the show started, I said I love doing
I
this
want
show
to.
with y'all.
I want to leave the Merry
appreciate
Christmases to Kendrick. He'll say
You know,
Merry
this
Christmas.
is about as much as
on
I'm going to
behalf-
get this Christmas.
Kendrick will say. I'm going to say have a copy on it, but Kendrick will say Merry Christmas on behalf of the show.
Yes, wishing everybody a happy Merry Christmas. And don't forget, man, even if you don't get a gift, it's all about family and friends and some good food.
That's right.
So truly
That's
enjoy each other's
right.
company from the entire squad here at
Ed
Fiels Live.
The squad.
You guys have a great one, and
Yeah.
we'll see you in 2018.
Yeah, see you in January. Love y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.